Buckle in because this is all so weird. I'm a 35-year-old man, and for some backstory, my dad died when I was 19, leaving my mom with me and my two siblings. And I'm the oldest. It took some time, but eventually my mom started dating again. We don't live together per se, but our houses back onto each other and have a gate, so it's pretty common for her to offer to do my laundry or me just go over for dinner or go look after our dog, that kind of stuff. Plus, me and my siblings go over there for dinner every other Friday night or so. A bit after she started, the men she's been dating have been getting younger, and I've never had a problem with them. She's been very open to me and my siblings that she wants to get married again, and we've always been supportive. At least after the initial shocks, lol. The latest guy is by far the most serious, and they've been dating since around last June?
He's my best friend from high school.
He proposed at the start of autumn, and they want to get married next summer. Again, me and my siblings are fine with this because it's her life and we trust him. He's a nice guy and they clearly love each other. But anyway, so long and short is this weekend, her fiancé, let's call him Phil, calls me and asks me if I could come over. I say, yeah, sure, I'll be over after work, and I assume he just needed help with some DIY stuff like they're doing. When I get over there, he calls me Sport and says, we need to talk. I should mention this is something he does to me and my little brother, calling us things like kid, sport, scout, little buddy, or my
That's fucking insane.
Or
Wait,
my
OP's 35?
Yes, OP's 35 years old.
He has his own house. He's living by himself.
Calling us things like kid, sport, scout, little buddy, or my personal favorite, calling us red and blue seemingly out of nowhere.
What?
My brother is 30, by the way. So 35 and a 30-year-old.
Oh my God.
He tried with my little sister, 28, too once and called her princess,
Oh.
but he stopped when she just stared at him. So thing with Phil is that he reminds me a lot of Charlie Day's character in Horrible Bosses, in that his sole ambition has always been to meet a girl, get married and have a family. And when he told me about my brother made some joke about how maybe our mom's going to come short on the last part, and he got very upset, but they made up after. Anyway, so I go around and ask if my mom around, and he said if my mom is around, and he says no, it's just him, and that we really need to talk man to man. I say sure, and he starts talking about how he's always wanted to be a father, etc., and raise a son to call his own, and then he drops this bombshell by saying, now, I know I can never replace your father, the man who made you, but it would mean the world to me if you could call me Dad.
Oh, fuck.
I'll admit it, I snickered a little, and then I knew he was serious because he looked like he was about to cry. And he didn't drop it either. I asked if he really meant it, and he got really emotional and started talking about what it means to be a man and how his purpose is to have and provide for a family, and he wants me and my siblings to be part of that family. Like, he reiterated he'll never replace my father, but he's ready to step up and be my dad and provide for and protect me and my siblings.
You're talking about a
35.
35-year-old man.
I provide for my own family.
Yeah, that's crazy. Imagine someone talking to you like that, John, right now. Like any of us, actually, because he talks to a brother like that. So between 30 and 35.
I'd be like,
excuse me?
I know I'm built like a fucking 8-year-old, but I'll fucking punch you in the face if you talk to me like this. And I'm just sat there thinking, dude, I'm a decade older than you, and you live in a separate house.
What the fuck?
He's 25!
I told you it's a Sean Rule sandwich, but
He's 25!
Oh my God.
He called a woman 3 years older than him princess.
I would have slapped the shit out of him.
I don't need providing for, and even if I did, I don't think a guy a third of my age who works part-time at the hardware store and is into collecting manga is the man to do it. Hey, yo, chill on the manga part though. Like that's just tight. Low-key.
I mean, yeah.
No offense if you are into that, LOL. Just, I don't know. I was a bit taken aback. I was in shock, so I said, okay. And he gets emotional again, but in a happy way, talking about how he wants to go camping.
No way you're really meaning okay. There's no way. If a 25-year-old came up to me and said, I'm your papa now. I'd be like, no, you're not. No, you're fucking. You shut your goddamn mouth.
Daddy.
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about, bro?
I'm torn because I'm both like, his mom is clearly taking advantage of someone so much younger, but I'm also like, this dude's insane for being like, you're calling me dad now. It's fucking, both of these things are true, and I hate the both of them.
How are y'all all okay with? I mean, because what is going on?
They're like, mom, what the fuck?
He did say in the beginning, like the people that a mom is dating has been getting younger and younger every time. So.
Yeah, but I was like, maybe she's 50 dating 38 or something like that. You know what I mean?
No, full ass 25-year-old, bro.
Damn.
And then when did they meet? Did they say when they met?
He almost under a year ago, so he would have been 20. It could have been
22, 24, yeah. I was in shock, so I just said, okay. And he gets emotional again, but in a happy way, talking about how he wants to go camping or go to a baseball game.
Sounds like you're his dad.
And how he joined the Lions this year and how he wants to bring me into it too. And then put as his boy. It sounds like a baseball club.
I'll say, is this motherfucker in the NFL?
Maybe. Who's that? Wait, isn't there an NFL player dating someone very like older? Or
there's an NBA player on the Rockets.
Player. That's what it is.
Shout out Jalen Green. He's dating a fucking 42-year-old. He's 22.
Jesus. So that's that guy.
He joined the Lions this year and how he wants to bring me into it too as his boy, which just feels so surreal because again, I'm 10 years older than this guy. Well, I ended it by just saying, this has gotten a bit too weird and I was going home. He got very upset and I left, called my brother and he agreed it sounds weird as fuck. Later, my mom called me and she wasn't disappointed, but admitted it's made him very upset and depressed. I told her that if he's embarrassed, he doesn't need to be. I get he's excited about the marriage and we can just laugh this off as a funny story. She then said that wasn't what he was upset about. He is upset about the fact he poured his heart out and I rejected him. She said, yeah, it is a bit kooky, but this is how he proves himself he's a man. And I guess I was a bit angry and said something like, first off, it's not my job to certify what's between his legs. And second, this doesn't prove he's a man. It just proves he's a nut job. I apologized immediately, but she said she didn't want to hear it and hung up. She called back 10 minutes later and we apologized and she begged me to just go along with it until he has some kids to call his own.
Never, ever would I call this 25-year-old dad.
No. I won't go too much into the details here, but she sort of let slip they plan to try IVF treatment because she's not ready to give up on being a mom just yet. And while I have my own thoughts about whether or not that's a good idea, I'm not here to litigate on that. We finished up fine and I reiterated I'd support her and she agreed that it was definitely a stressful situation for me, but begged me to at least think about it, which leads me to here. I did think it over and obviously I'm going to say no. I had a dad and he died and that's the only dad I've ever needed, I've ever wanted, and I'll ever bestow that title on. I'm not asking if someone's unreasonable or what I should do, more so what I should say. This clearly means a lot to him for some reason, and I deeply love my mom, so I want to try and minimize the damage, especially as if we're still so involved in each other's lives and they live behind me. How can I make it clear to them as painlessly as possible that I think this is weird and borderline offensive? I really don't want to rip the Band-Aid off because I fear what it might do to the family.
I think you should rip it off because that should not be, they should not be together.
It should be normalized.
Your mom should not be going through IVF. I don't think that's a...
Your mom should also not be dating a 25-year-old.
Yeah. Also...
Crazy.
25-year-old. Obviously, no, illegal. I mean, technically legal, but when y'all met, that's a grooming situation.
Yeah.
2, I don't know if y'all should be doing IVF if he, doesn't have like a great paying career yet. 3 is 1. Again, why are you dating it?
Refer back to point 1.
Refer back to point 1. Yeah.
See the Venn diagram of the Sean rules. This shit's fucking weird.
This shit's bad.
Yeah.
I can't believe and then if your mom gets mad, then you got to be like, you're lucky that we're all still talking to you for fucking robbing the goddamn cradle with this one.
Yeah.
You don't think that we think it's weird that you're dating a 25-year-old? And then you want us to call him? Are you crazy? You're lucky that we're still fucking cool with you.
You're lucky I talked to him.
Yeah, you're lucky I talked to you.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I'm torn here because I'm like, you should, like, this is not okay. He's a dumbass, but he's also a groomed dumbass, it seems like. So it's like, I don't know. Like, I'm torn between like what was crazier in this story, but I think you should sit down with your mom, with your siblings, and be like, Mom, you should not be marrying or dating a 25-year-old. They are not in the same place in life. He clearly wants kids. I think it's probably insane for you to want them right now. Like, she's probably what?
In her 50s, at
late
least?
50s at
Yeah.
least, probably later. And it's just like, probably not a good idea. You know what I mean? You have us as your children. Maybe date someone
A little
older,
closer to your age,
older
yeah.
than us, at least.
Yes.
That should be the bar. You know what I mean? There's tons of guys who are available out there above that age that would fit your lifestyle better and wouldn't feel like you're taking advantage of them.
Even a 30-year-old, I'd be okay with. You know what I mean? I wouldn't love that I'm older than them, but at least like not a 24.
It feels like their brain would be at least fully developed and not expect you to call them dad. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I'm at right now. I'm like, you need to date someone that's at least in a career, not freshly out of college, university. And yeah.
Oh, 28. Oh, fucking.
Sean's bargaining. He's just like, for the love of God.
Because I'm like, oh God, this just feels so like
fucking weird.
And I mean, roles reversed, we'd be chopping too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we are,
We'd be
absolutely.
super chopping. So
I mean, I would say the exact same thing if it was a dad doing this to a
Like, what are you doing,
25-year-old
buddy?
woman. I'd be like, yeah, you should sit down with your father and be like, this is fucking weird.
Yeah, Bill Belichick, you motherfucker. Look at you
Leo.
taking a college job, you motherfucker.
Yeah. So yeah, I think you need to have a serious conversation with your mom and direct her in the right direction because this is
Absolutely
insane.
Yep, completely agree. So this was a long post, and they did have some relevant comments, but I'll leave it to the Wikimaniacs to read that. But there are 2 updates on this story.
There's updates.
Not gonna lie, they chopped on this dude a little bit. The next updates kind of gets a little funny, so we'll hop into that. So they posted an update. It goes as this. I told both my siblings and we agreed we'd collectively put our foot down with Phil at our next family dinner next week, especially after an incident where Phil referred to my brother as sport. Again, the brother is like 30 years old.
He's 5 years older.
Yep, and asked if he wanted to go see a baseball game with him. Admittedly, I was a bit spurred on by
you
what
want
you
me
all...
to pay?
Yeah.
Are you asking me?
You want to go? I'll take you.
And Reddit kind of got a little petty on this one, and you'll hear it.
I mean,
Admittedly,
he is a dumbass, but I am also like, he is still like
a person,
groomed.
you know? Yeah.
being taken advantage of. Like, he's in a position where no 25-year-old should be put in.
Yeah. Admittedly, I was a bit spurred on by what you all said and got involved, pinging him back with, "Aw, no tickets for me, daddy." And my brother responded with, "Daddy wants to meet all to himself. Hot."
Oh,
winky
God.
face.
All right, I think you might be the asshole.
That's what I said. I'm like,
This is
hey, yo,
bullying.
they fucking went in. And Phil took a few minutes to respond for saying he was shocked, speechless, and disgusted. And which, I mean, that's fair. That's kind of fucked up.
So funny though.
It is hilarious as fuck. He then messaged me in private to say he was utterly appalled and that he'd never disrespect his own father the way you boys did.
You're not my dad.
And to which I go back, it's like, you know what? Kind of warranted.
Yeah.
I kind of lost it at this point and said, right, that's because you're not my father, Phil. You're a 24-year-old man-child dating my
24?
mother. They're actually 24.
Confirmed illegal.
Oh no.
You have no right to my respect, especially not the respect a father gets. And I immediately said sorry, but then blocked his number and left the group chat. Apparently, he sent a similar thing to my brother, who responded with more daddy stuff, and Phil blocked him.
I do still think their anger and bullshit is misdirected. And it should be directed at the
to
mom.
the mom. Absolutely.
She is putting them all in this situation for being a fucking creep.
Honestly, I would be that kid. Be like, Daddy, can you go buy me tickets?
Oh, I have no idea. No doubt you would be that kid.
I will say also this, and this may be my 90-day fiance stuff. He also could be taking them. He doesn't have a great job. He could also be like, oh, this 50-year-old, got it made.
Yeah.
But also, if that was the point, I don't think he'd be driving home this daddy part.
Yeah,
so hard.
he is also being over the top and weird.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think
everyone sucks in this scenario.
Yeah. If he was just in
Especially
it for the
mom.
money, I don't think he'd be doing the daddy stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that aside, I don't think that family dinner is going ahead. After the original post blew up, it seems someone from his Lions Club found it and reported to their chair or whatever, and Phil has either been expelled or resigned or in the process of one of the two.
Damn.
Why though?
I have no clue.
What has he done?
Yeah. I mean, he just wanted to bring his
adult, not
adult
son.
kid.
Not son.
Not son, yeah. He has removed nearly all mentions of the Lions from his social media and no longer mentions being a member, with his last post on it being some cryptic goodbye post where he kind of drones on about what it means to be a man in the modern day and the duty of fatherhood bestowed on all men at birth. Really weird shit. My mom called me half in a panic, half in a rage after about the stuff I'd been telling about him before breaking down and saying we need to meet, which we did and got my brother to go over too. I know he has temporarily moved back in with his parents in the next town over, but from my understanding, they still want to go ahead with the wedding. But I think that's more so because they've already spent money on it.
That's not a cost sunk fallacy. Is that what it is? Sunk cost fallacy?
Something like
That's
that.
insane for this reason.
When she said she was determined to have more kids, my brother did step up and asked if she really thought that was a good idea at her age. And I pointed out that assuming she had the baby next year and she lived to 80, they still wouldn't have finished college.
Bro.
That's wild. She just stammered on about how people live longer these days before breaking down crying and admitting she's not ready to give up on mothering due to some deep-seated trauma and fears about the family breaking apart that I won't go into for her sake. When we reassured her that we weren't going anywhere, she calmed down and we had a very good honest conversation where she's agreed to drop the IVF stuff on the grounds that it'd be too expensive and unlikely to get greenlit, and has agreed to look into fostering instead. Me and my brother highly doubt anything will ever come of that, so we're not that worried anymore. The very good news is she's also agreed to look into therapy / psychiatric
Thank
help.
fucking God.
I know, right? Them flaming dude aside, like, so far, good advices. And good way of handling things.
Yeah.
Although that shit was fucking comedic, though. Psychiatric help to deal with her trauma, and we've helped get her in touch with a nice lady in town to unpack all this in a more healthy way. So at least one person is getting the help they need. I have no idea what's happened with Phil or what's going to happen with him, but I did make it clear to my mom that he is not my dad. He's not even my stepdad. I'm not a kid, and he's never going to be either one outside of legal fuckery. She relented pretty quickly, and we've agreed that if things go ahead, that's going to be a huge red line, though I don't know if he'll want to be friends with me after all this. Laughing my ass off. Anyway, thanks for the help on the original post, y'all. And then very last update. Edit. Bit of an update as I can't respond to everybody, but I think the marriage is off.
Thank fucking God.
Phil has gone AWOL again and has had a huge argument with his family as they've demanded he call off the wedding and date people his own age.
Yes.
There goes Sean. Where are the parents?
There's the parents.
There are the parents.
Finally.
This apparently made him snap. Me and my mom have met his mom and older brother, who said Phil is very insecure around girls his own age and has never been able to talk to them. Hence, his preference. This very deeply upset my mom, and after some begging from all of us, she has agreed to push the wedding back, though she wants to keep dating him. I have no idea where Phil is, though his brother assumes he's couch surfing with his D&D friends who have been sending me and my brother some not nice messages because
Bad
clearly
look for D&D, unfortunately.
Oh, and this is going to be even a worse look, brother. He's couch surfing with his D&D friends who have been sending me and my brother some not nice messages because clearly we're just jealous of the MILF hunter.
Jesus Christ.
If any of you
subclass.
if any of you socially inept fucks are reading this, I don't need to chase middle-aged folk because I can talk to boys my own age like a normal person. Peace. That was the final update.
Okay. I had a few thoughts in there. the previous one where she was just like, I'm not ready to not be a mom. I was like, oh, so you're dating so young to feel like you're a mom again is what it seems like to me. I'm glad she's going through therapy to work that out.
Yeah, because it sounds like you don't want a part.
Yeah, you want someone
sound
to
like you
mother,
want a baby.
Yeah.
which is either your partner or an actual baby. So yeah, still a predator, still fucking weird. I'm glad she's going to therapy to figure that out. I feel your kids should have probably stepped in and demanded that earlier, but
Yeah, I fear that y'all should really talk to her and not kind of talk her out of dating until she kind of figures out the weird mother stuff out.
yeah.
You know, aka ruin another person's life, maybe.
And then Phil sucks ass for, it sounds like being like a red pill fucker. So,
Yeah, he definitely needs help, bro. Like for him to like, spew all that and the fucking how to be a father, being a man is this and that. It's like, no, it seems like you need to sit down with a professional, bro.
but I can't talk to women my own age.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to
Come
figure
on.
out like some of your deep insecurities and some of the things that are bothering you. So that way you can be a better person in society. Because it's right now it seems like you're not. You want to step into roles that you don't have qualifications for, unfortunately.
Exactly. It's okay to be like nervous to talk to, people your own age that you're interested in, but that doesn't mean you have to then date so much older that it's a problem. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I hope Phil works on himself and finds someone his own age.
Yes.
Also, I'm just shocked that they played maybe it's just all the D&D content that like I consume particularly is all pretty LGBT QIA.
There are factions of D&D.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
are
I
not
guess that
great.
makes sense with any fan base
Yeah.
of anything, But it's just like everything that I watch or consume is just like so open.
You put different people in a fantasy world, they're gonna do some either
Weird shit. That's
weird
true.
shit that's
true.
not great sometimes. I've seen
MILF
it.
hunters hater, bro.
That's our one shot. We're the MILF hunters where we
hunt the
we hunt the fucking creeps that are trying
to catch a MILF hunter.
Yeah,
Is that our
to catch a
fucking
MILF
show
hunter.
premise?
That's our one shot.